Hi everyone! So in this video, we will solve an example problem in chapter 10, which is about heat transfer by convection. So for a heat transfer purposes, a standing man can be modeled as a 30 cm diameter, 170 cm long vertical cylinder with the top and bottom surfaces are insulated and with the side surface at an average temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. For a convection heat transfer coefficient of 15 watts per square meter degrees Celsius, determine the rate of heat lost from this man by convection in an environment at 20 degrees Celsius. So in this problem, a person is standing in a room at a specified temperature. The heat transfer rate between the person and the surrounding air by convection is to be determined. So before we will proceed in finding the rate of heat loss from this man, we will identify first our given. So we have here the H as our convection heat transfer coefficient, which is equal to 15 watts per square meter degrees Celsius. And we have here the diameter, which is equal to 30 cm, the length, which is 170 cm, and the surface temperature, which is equal to 34 degrees Celsius. And we have here the temperature of the surrounding, which is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. And we are about to find the rate of heat loss from this man by convection in an environment at a specified temperature. So let's assume that the steady operating conditions exist and the heat transfer by radiation is not considered. And also, the environment is at a uniform temperature. So under these steady conditions, the rate of heat transfer by convection is given by the convection heat transfer coefficient multiplied by the surface area multiplied by the change in temperature. So since the surface area is unknown, in order to find the rate of heat loss, we will solve first the surface area. So the heat transfer surface area of the person is given by the surface area is equal to pi dl, where d is the diameter and l is the length. So our given is in centimeter, so we will express this in meter. So plugging in the values in the equation, we will now have the pi multiplied by 0.3 meter multiplied by 1.70 meter. So plugging this in calculator, we will have now the surface area of the heat transfer of the person, which is equal to 1.60 squared meter. So we have here the area. So we can now solve the rate of heat loss from this man. So we will now plug in the given values in this equation. We have the convection heat transfer coefficient of 15 watts per square meter degrees Celsius, and we have here the area, which is equal to 1.60 square meter multiplied by the change in temperature, which is equal to the surface temperature minus the temperature in the surrounding. So we have 34 degrees Celsius minus 20 degrees Celsius. So plug this in the calculator, we will now have the rate of heat loss from the man by convection in an environment at 20 degrees Celsius, which is equal to 336 watts.